Hello, residents of the universe. Welcome to Ways to Human. My name is AJ. In this video, I will present questions to encourage you to explore your understanding of God's punishment system and determine whether you have sufficient reasons to maintain your faith in it. While this video will focus on the Bible, the questions can be answered by anyone who follows any of the Abrahamic religions. Remember, there are no right or wrong answers. The responses should reflect your own personal opinion and interpretation of sin, good, evil, and other fundamental concepts in God's justice system. This video takes a similar format as the other Losing My Religion video. It would be ideal to use the same method, taking as long as you need to deeply consider each answer. Make sure to click pause after each question. Alright, let's get started. What is your personal interpretation of heaven and hell? Are they physical places? Where are they located? Think of the two main reasons why you believe in heaven and hell. For example, the comfort of the idea of an afterlife, generational belief passed down by family, reading the Bible, or even fearing God's punishment. Next, think about the accounts of creation of the universe and humans as told in Genesis. In your interpretation, are all of these stories true, real, and accurate as described in the Bible, or are they metaphorical? What method did you use to determine which stories were literal and which ones are metaphorical? Did God provide a clear method that the average Bible reader can use to interpret the scriptures? How did you define sin? Would you say the concept of sin is similar to karma, where positive acts leads to benefits and negative acts leads to negative consequences? Do you believe bad things happen to bad people as punishment for their own sins? Do bad things happen to good people as punishment for their parents' or ancestors' sins? Do humans still experience punishments for Adam and Eve's sins? How do you personally think that God determines which babies or innocent children get certain punishments for their parents' or ancestors' sins? Since I gave my children life by giving birth to them, is it fair to punish them for something that my parents did? To recap, God punishes humans in several ways. On earth for their own sins, on earth for ancestors or Adam and Eve's sins, by sending them to hell, and by punishing their children. Some examples of biblical sins are disrespecting your parents, sex before marriage, selfish ambitions, pride, lust, lying, and getting drunk. Does God ever punish someone in more than one way for the same sin? There is one sin that God considers unforgivable: blasphemy. This is defined as the crime of insulting or showing lack of respect for God. If the only unforgivable sin is blasphemy, and repenting grants forgiveness for all other sins, does this mean that a child rapist or a serial killer who repents will be allowed to go to heaven? If an atheist, despite being an incredibly kind, honest individual who dedicates their life to serving others, commits the one unforgivable sin of blasphemy, Is eternal torment in hell a fair punishment for them? Is there a clear method outlined to help humans understand exactly which sins receive which punishments? Why do you think God chose to not give us the ability to see in the dark? Did He take our free will by doing that? Why do you think God chose to give us the ability to sin and be tempted? Could God have made humans who were not able to be tempted? If God is omniscient and He could see the future, was He able to see the interactions between Adam, Eve, and the snake before it happened? God kept Adam and Eve from reaching the tree of life by placing cherubim and flaming swords around it. Why do you think that He chose not to use the same method to keep Adam and Eve from reaching the tree of knowledge of good and evil? Would you say that keeping a baby safe from harm is taking away their free will, or is it just being a good parent and providing safety? Does God ever take someone's free will away? Unconditional love is defined as love that is given without conditions, no expectations of anything in return. If humans have only two choices, either worship and love God or go to hell, would you say that God's love is unconditional? The Bible verse on Isaiah 45:7 says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. What do you think God's purpose was for creating evil? Are there descriptions of heaven in the Bible that give humans an idea of what to look forward to? Do you have faith that God will keep all of His promises? If you answered yes, are you using anything aside from faith to determine whether this is true? These are all the questions I have for today. I hope that they made you think. If you'd like to share an answer to any of these questions, or if you have any questions for me, please leave them in the comments below. Until next time, don't forget to like and subscribe.